The woods behind Black Hollow had always been feared. Not because people got lost there. Not because wild animals lived there. But because those who entered after sunset sometimes came back, different. The old townsfolk refused to talk about it. Whenever the woods were mentioned, conversations ended abruptly. Doors were shut. Curtains were drawn. And every child in town grew up hearing the same warning. If you hear your name being called from the woods at night, don't answer. "23-year-old Ethan Carter thought it was nothing more than a local legend. Until the night his brother disappeared. It happened during a camping trip. Ethan, his younger brother Jake, and two friends had decided to spend a weekend in the forest. The first day was normal. Birds chirped. Wind rustled through the leaves. Nothing seemed unusual. But after sunset, things changed. The forest became unnaturally quiet. No insects. No birds. No distant animal sounds. Only silence. A silence so complete it felt alive. Around midnight, Jake woke Ethan. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. "Hear what?" "Someone called my name." Ethan rolled over. "You're dreaming." But then he heard it too. A faint voice drifting through the darkness. "Jake!" The voice sounded distant, yet strangely close. Almost as if it was right beside them. The others woke up. Everyone heard it. Again. "Jake!" The voice sounded exactly like their mother. Jake stood up immediately. "Mom?" Ethan grabbed his arm. "Sit down." "But that's Mom." "No, it isn't." The voice came again. This time from deeper within the woods. And somehow it sounded desperate. "Jake! Help me!" The darkness between the trees seemed to shift. Like something was moving. Watching. Waiting. Jake tore free from Ethan's grip and ran into the forest. "Jake!" Ethan chased after him.
"David!"
The beam from his flashlight bounced wildly between the trees. Branches clawed at his face. Roots grabbed at his feet. But Jake was gone. Completely gone. As if the forest had swallowed him whole. The search lasted 3 days. Police. Volunteers. Drones. Dogs. Nothing. No footprints.
"Hello? Can you hear me? If you are out here, please make some noise."
No torn clothing. No signs of a struggle. It was as though Jake had never existed. Eventually everyone gave up. Everyone except Ethan. 6 months later, he returned to Black Hollow determined to find the truth. The old woman who lived at the edge of town finally spoke to him. Her hands trembled as she poured tea. "The woods take people," she said. "What do you mean?" "They lure them." "Who?" The old woman stared toward the forest. "Things older than humanity." A chill ran through Ethan's body. "Things that wear voices."
"They're coming for us! We have to hide!"
That night Ethan entered the woods alone. Armed with a flashlight, a camera, and a handgun. The forest seemed different now. Darker. Wrong. The deeper he walked, the colder the air became. Then he heard it. Jake's voice. "Ethan." His heart stopped. It sounded exactly like him. Every detail. Every inflection. Every emotion. "Ethan, help me." Tears filled his eyes. "Jake?" The voice came again. Closer. "I'm here." Ethan followed. Tree after tree. Shadow after shadow.
"Hello? Is anyone there? Please help me!"
The voice guided him deeper into the forest. Until he reached a clearing. At the center stood an ancient tree. Far larger than anything he'd ever seen. Its trunk twisted unnaturally. like dozens of human bodies fused together. And hanging from its branches were people. Hundreds of them. Not dead. Not alive. Their bodies were embedded within the wood. Faces frozen in silent screams. Eyes moving. Watching. Begging. Among them was Jake. His skin had merged with the bark. Roots grew from his mouth. Yet somehow he was still conscious. Still alive. His eyes locked onto Ethan's. And he screamed. "Run!" The ground exploded beneath Ethan. Something emerged from the darkness. A creature taller than the trees. Its body was made of branches, roots, and human bones. Thousands of faces covered its skin. Each face whispering. Each face crying. Each face calling names. The voices blended into a horrifying chorus. Ethan! 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 The creature knew him. It knew everything. Memories flooded his mind. Birthdays. Childhood fears. Secrets. Every moment of his life. It had been watching him forever. Waiting. The creature stretched a massive hand toward him. And every face on its body smiled. Ethan fired his gun. The bullets disappeared into the monster. Doing nothing. The creature laughed. A sound like cracking trees and human screams. The forest came alive. Roots burst from the earth, wrapping around Ethan's legs, pulling him down, dragging him toward the ancient tree, toward the trapped faces, toward eternity. He clawed at the dirt, screaming, begging, crying. But the forest was stronger. The last thing he saw was Jake's face. Still trapped. Still screaming. Still warning him. Then the roots reached his mouth. And darkness swallowed him whole. A year later, another group of campers entered Black Hollow Woods.
Follow me, children.
Around midnight,
Deeper
one of them
into the
heard a
woods.
voice. A terrified
Who
voice.
said that?
A young man
Show
crying
yourself.
for help. "Please! Don't come closer! Run!" The campers followed the sound.
The sound is coming from this way.
Because it sounded real. Because it sounded human. Because it sounded desperate. And deep within the woods, something smiled. Waiting for them. Hungry. Patient. Forever.